The Guardians of the Galaxy Trilogy came to a close with Guardians Volume 3, so I'm going to rank all 11 MCU franchises from the worst to the best. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I talk about a bunch of movies on this channel. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share your ranking of all 11 MCU franchises ranked from the worst to the best. And with that said, let's just get straight into it. Coming in at last place, the Hulk franchise. I actually really enjoy The Incredible Hulk. If you take it on its own terms, it's a fun little Hulk movie, and I enjoy what they did with it, and it's just a film that I just don't get the hate for. But then this franchise is seriously hurt once you bring She-Hulk into the mix, possibly the worst thing the MCU has put out, a set of silly court cases, and people only watched it because of Daredevil, and so without question, the Hulk franchise isn't last for me. Number 10, Captain Marvel. This is a franchise that, with Captain Marvel, I would say is one of the bottom tier MCU movies. It's just a film that I don't think is all that good of a film, and there's some clunky storytelling, Brie Larson's performance is awkward, and it didn't write Captain Marvel correctly. Then you have Miss Marvel, which I think is significantly better, but it's still super kiddish. It's not necessarily for me, and so while I think Miss Marvel is better than Captain Marvel, neither one of them were actually really good to me. Hopefully this franchise elevates because of the Marvels. Number 9, the Thor franchise. This is a franchise where quality varies. The original Thor is directed by Kenneth Branagh, and it's a bit of a dud. I think it's tonally inconsistent. Thor Love and Thunder and Thor the Dark World are obviously some of the worst films in the entire MCU. Then Thor Ragnarok, I actually really enjoy. I think Taika Waititi did a great job with it before going over the top with Thor Love and Thunder. And then you have Loki just sort of in the middle of all of it, just this sort of spin-off adventure, and so it varies in quality, but this is not really good franchise. Number 8, the Ant-Man Trilogy. This is a trilogy where the first film and the second film were just fun, small little films. First film was a heist film with Scott Lang. I never thought I needed Paul Rudd as a superhero, but it works. Ant-Man and the Wasp is a small, little get-an-item story where basically it's just a small, fun little film. And then Quantumania, I've liked it less and less over time. I just do not think that movie holds up very well. I don't believe Kang is beaten by Ant-Man that easily, and so this is a franchise that it's just trying to be a small tier franchise, and I think it does that. Number 7, the Iron Man franchise. This is a tough one because Iron Man is a top tier MCU movie. I just love the origin story they gave him. Iron Man 2, bottom tier. Did not enjoy it. Whiplash is used in an odd way. Tony Stark has his daddy issues. Then in the middle of it, you get Iron Man 3, which is a mid-tier MCU movie, which I think is very underrated. It is a really good movie, but I can see that the Mandarin twist is a bit silly and ridiculous, and so it varies in quality, but I don't think this franchise has held up very well, but it's still entertaining. Number 6, the Spider-Man franchise. This is a frustrating one because I think Homecoming is just a fun high school movie. Far From Home is a bottom tier MCU movie. I just do not think Far From Home works all that well. And No Way Home, obviously a very special Spider-Man film, and so I think it works on a high school level really well, but in the bottom of that, you get some very clunky storytelling along the way. So this franchise, it's good, not necessarily great in the MCU. Number 5, Captain America, and I really wanted to have this one higher up on the list, but I think one project in particular really hurt it. The trilogy as a whole is an amazing trilogy. First Avenger, he's a noble hero with a fantastic origin story. Winter Soldier is more serious with the politics and everything. And Civil War is one of my favorite films in the MCU. The conflict is personal, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier just hurt this franchise by so much. So disappointing for a Disney Plus show like this to be like this. And so I love this franchise. It hurt a little bit because of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Number 4, Doctor Strange. This is a duology that I think actually works quite a bit. The original one has a great visual style. It introduces us to this great hero, Stephen Strange. Multiverse of Madness, I like it more than a bunch of other people do. And I think it is a fun, not as good as it should be, but fun MCU movie. And this franchise is not trying to swing for the fences or anything like that, but it just tries to deliver on entertainment. I think it does that really well, and I love Doctor Strange as a character as well. Kicking off the top 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. I just love these characters and this franchise. The first Guardians of the Galaxy is way up there in my MCU ranking. I just love what they did with that movie, the story, the arcs, and everything. Volume 2 is weaker, but I think it continued the franchise quite nicely. And the third film just skyrocketed. Even the holiday special is pretty good. The third film, I thought was so good. Closed out these characters so well. James Gunn made something really special here. Holding it back, I think the villains are not as interesting, but I still really enjoy this franchise. Our runner-up, the Black Panther duology. This is a franchise created by Ryan Coogler. Thought he did really well with the first film, where it's a more thematically rich, mature MCU film with themes. Second one, I love how he was able to make it one of my favorite films in the MCU, because the lead actor died, and he was still made one of my top 10 MCU films. Thoroughly enjoy what Ryan Coogler did. I like this franchise so much. I think Ryan Coogler should direct Secret Wars coming out, so I just really enjoy these Black Panther movies. But easily in first place, Avengers. Of course, this is the franchise that'd be in first. Infinity War, Endgame, and the original Avengers are in my top 5 MCU movies. I thoroughly enjoy all of them. Infinity War and Endgame being the 1-2 punch. The Avengers being the very first superhero team movie that was so influential. And Age of Ultron, while not being all that good compared to these three, it's still a very entertaining. I thought it did everything it needed to do. This is a franchise that has so many hits, and I just thoroughly enjoy what they did with it. And so, for me, it is my favorite MCU franchise easily. Down below in the comment section, share your ranking of the MCU franchises over on my channel. I have more content like this. Check those out right now. Click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end. I will see you in the next one.